question is what is God doing?
When we think about the world today, it's a crazy place.
Your spiritual life, your own life, your family life.
The Daily 320. Here we are. We're getting into the week. I hope you're having a great week as we're all stuck at home wondering what in the world's going on and when we can ever go back to life. But hey, in the meantime, we have a good God and a God that can do anything. Yesterday, I started talking about the Lord's Prayer a little bit. And through that, some people asked, I started wondering, on that line, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. How do you really figure that out? Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as is in heaven. How do you really figure that out? And so today I want to share a few little helpful hints that I have learned along the way that are found in that prayer. Our Father. So number one, you're trying to get a picture. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So if I had a blank canvas here, and I almost brought some art out with me today, that started with the blank canvas, and then the artist was able to see something that somebody else wasn't able to see. So when you're praying, you're trying to see something on the blank canvas that God sees. And it says, Our Father. So the first thing you know about thy kingdom come, thy will be done is that the picture is coming from a good father. A good father that encourages, that admonishes, that creates, that shares DNA, that is always for you. And it says, Our Father which art in heaven, so it establishes his authority. The picture is coming from a good dad with all authority. So it's not a picture of a little Polaroid that you just caught at the beach or something, but it's a picture of the creator of the universe giving you a picture of what he wants to do in your life as a good dad. So Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. The word hallowed means to worship. And so it means, okay, what are the names of God? He is our shepherd. He is our provider. He is our banner. He is our healer. He is our redeemer. He is our sanctifier. He is our righteousness. He is our protector. And so it goes on and on. So the picture is from a good dad with all authority, with the names that represent. So whatever the picture looks like are going to represent the names of God, which we'll probably get more into tomorrow. And then it says, Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And so the picture is, what is God doing in heaven right now that he wants to establish on earth? And so heaven is not a place of chaos. Heaven is not a place of confusion. Heaven is not a place of sickness. Heaven is not a place of hatred or unforgiveness. Heaven is not a place of carrying grudges. It's a place of freedom. And so the picture starts taking place from not what you're seeing, but who God is and who he sees you to be. So the more you learn about who God is and who you are in God, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as is in heaven, will begin to display itself on that canvas. Then it goes on to say, and give us this day our daily bread. That's where I'm going to stop today. So the picture that God creates for you is a picture from a good dad with all authority, with the names of God, that when you get this picture, it will bring provision for what God is wanting to do in your life. Now, I don't know about you, but as we go through the pandemic, provision's kind of driving me crazy right now. Robin and I were just talking about that. How's God going to do this? We're coming out of a season of our lives. We're resting. We're starting some new organizations. It was time to go, and now we can't gather people. I'm not saying we're going to gather people, but we can't gather people. We can't. And so all of a sudden we're going, God, how are you going to do this? But in God's picture, he knows how he's going to provide. So my responsibility isn't to create a new picture. It's to get in on what God was already doing. And as we go through this season, I don't think the big change has happened yet in America. I think it will happen when we come out of the pandemic and we see that God is going to do things in biblical ways and prosper biblical people. Last thing, let me say this: thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as is in heaven. To get the picture of God, you have to align yourself with kingdom people, not good people. Now, it doesn't mean that you don't pay attention to good people, but I know a lot of good people that think they're smarter than God, and they're not. And I know a lot of good people that have been very successful that think they have it all figured out, and they've done well by God's grace. But in that, God will bless those who serve His kingdom. Illustration, Caleb and Joshua, 10 others, talking about going into the promised land. Everybody comes back and says, it's a land full of milk and honey, it is great. 10 good people say we should wait. 2 kingdom people say we should go. The 10 good people cost a whole generation and millions of people the blessings of God because they were good people and not kingdom people. So when you're figuring out the picture, align yourself with kingdom people. When I need help, I get on the phone and I call Pastor Witten out in Florida. And I call my youth leader, Scott George. I call one of my other youth leaders, Terry Allen. I want people that are speaking into me the kingdom of heaven from generations and from decades of living it. Not good people who think they know how to just make things jump back. The biggest surprise when we come out of this pandemic is going to be the people that are flat on their face that think they have it all figured out. Because what God is doing in this season is He's seeing who will bow their knee and say, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. I encourage you, join me. Let's bow today and trust in a big, big God, a God that can do anything. I'm not sharing any of that in a negative way, but a positive way of saying, you might think you're at the end of your rope, and you're right. Because God is fixing to give you a new rope, and it's going to be greater than you could ever imagine. And God's going to bless you in ways that you could not even dream of before. And He will confound the minds of the wise as the kingdom people prosper in ways that they've never prospered before. Believe in E320. God can do anything. We love you. We're so proud of you. Join the club. Donate. Be a part. A lot of fun things are coming down the pike. We're trying to figure out how to roll them out in the middle of a pandemic. And we love you. Thank you for all you do for us. And we'll see you tomorrow. God bless.